The worst thing I ever saw was the king chewing a man's heart while the man was still breathing. I was 13 when it happened. My name is Madu. I grew up in a small village called Ogwashi, deep in the forest. Back then, there was no chief in our land. Only one ruler, King Obio. People didn't speak his name after dark. They whispered it like it would call him from the shadows. He lived up the hill in a clay palace with red painted skulls on the gate. The elders said he had made a deal with something in the forest. Some spirit that gave him power, but in return, he had to feed it. Not goats. Not chickens. People. Every full moon, the king's guards came down into the village with torches. You could hear the dogs howling before they even arrived. Everyone locked their doors. We were told not to cry, not to scream, or even pray too loudly. The king liked silence. One night, they came for my uncle, Adana's father. He was a good man. He taught me how to hunt bush rats. He never hurt anyone. They dragged him out by his neck. I saw it from under my mother's bed. She covered my mouth. I didn't scream. I just watched as they took him up the hill. The next day, I followed. I know it was stupid. I was a child, but I had to know. I crawled through the bush behind the palace. I found a crack in the clay wall. What I saw made me forget how to breathe. Uncle was tied to a wooden chair in the courtyard. Naked. Bleeding. The king sat on a high stool wearing nothing but beads and red chalk on his face. There were 3 others, a woman, a small boy, and a tall man with a broken leg. They were crying, shaking. The king didn't speak. He just walked over to my uncle, pulled out a sharp bone blade from his wrapper, and cut into his chest. I heard my uncle scream. Then the king reached in, with his bare hand, and pulled something out. His heart. My uncle was still alive. His eyes were open. His mouth was open, but no sound came out. The king bit into the heart like it was mango. I ran. I didn't stop. I threw up in the bush. I peed myself. When I got home, I told my mother. She slapped me and told me to forget. If you speak about it, you will die. I kept quiet for years. But now I'm old. And the king is dead. And the spirits that helped him are quiet now. But I still see that moment when I close my eyes, the heart in his mouth, the blood on his teeth. I wish I never looked. Some things are better not seen.